Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. I am Hanis Diaudin bin Asmadi, a criminal journalist for Sharp Magazine. Welcome to our forum on a critical and deeply concerning issues. Can child abuse ever truly end? Tonight, we aim to shed light on this matter, explore its problem and discuss the solution. With us today, our four incredible panelists, each bringing unique expertise and perspective to the table. First, we have Mr. Wan Muhammad Amjad Shakir, which he served as a school counselor at Seri Indah National School, where he have worked for 20 years since 2005, supporting students' academic, social, and emotional well-being. In his role, he has worked closely with children who have experienced various forms of abuse, helping them to navigate their trauma, access support, and feel safe within the school environment. Welcome, Mr. Amjad.
Thank you, Mr. Anis, for the invitation. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Next, we are joined by Nur Haziatul Haziah binti Kamaluddin. Miss Haziatul is a social worker from Department of Social Welfare under the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development with 5 years of work experience. It's great to have you here.
Thank you, Mr. Hanis, for that kind and loving and for having me here. I am really honored to be in this wonderful discussion along with great professional figures. I can't wait to dive into our discussion and to share insights together. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Miss Haziatul. Also with us today, Miss Nur Batrisha binti Idris, a lawyer who specializes in child custody, has more than 10 years experience. Thank you for being part of these discussions.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Harnis, for the introduction.
And finally, we are pleased to welcome Dr. Muhammad Imran bin Othman, a lecturer in the Faculty of Business and Management at University Technology Mara, UITM, specializing in the intersection of economic and social policy. With 15 years of dedicated service, he has focused on understanding and addressing the economic factors that influence social issues. We are excited to hear your insight tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Hanis. I look forward to sharing my thought on our discussion today.
All right. Thank you all for being here and contributing your expertise in this important forum. Before we begin, I want to ask all of our audience today, did you guys know that child abuse is a growing global concern? If no action is taken, more children will suffer from a lifelong harm, including mental health disorder, poor academic outcomes, while families and society bear the ripple effect. From one of my readings, my friend Lauren Redford, who is an emeritus professor of social policy and social work at University Central Lancaster, United Kingdom, said that effective intervention and strategies are crucial in preventing and responding to end child abuse. This evidence underscores the need for a multi-phase approach to tackle the issues effectively. So we're gonna begin with our first panelist, Mr. Amjad. I'm gonna give you the situation here. Many people didn't notice that education is one of the most critical reasons why child abuse getting worse nowadays. So may I have Mr. Amjad to explain about it. What is actually happened in the education aspect with your idea to overcome these issues?
Thank you for the opportunity to speak today on a topic that holds immense importance, child abuse. As we know, this is devastating issues affecting children worldwide, and it is one of that often goes unnoticed or unreported. I'm here to talk about some critical challenges that educators face in identifying and addressing child abuse, and to present a couple of practical solutions that can help us protect our children more effectively. So first of all, I will go with the first problem, which is let's talk about a significant challenge. Teachers may not always recognize the sign of child abuse. Teachers are often in a unique position to notice changes in a child's behavior or physical appearance. Yet, without adequate training, they may not know what to look for or how to respond. This issue is compounded by the fact that children abuse can take many forms, such as physical, emotional, sexual, or neglect, and the sign may not always be obvious. Additionally, children themselves may feel unable or unwilling to disclose abuse to their teachers, whether due to fear, shame, or lack of trust in authority figures. Many children hesitate to seek help. In fact, research suggests that children are most likely to disclose abuse. So, for the solution, I will go with to address the first issue, I propose mandatory annual training for teachers on recognizing the sign of child abuse. Teachers are on the frontliners of this issue, but without proper training, they may miss critical warning signs. Regular and comprehensive training will help educators stay aware of the latest research and effective strategy for recognizing abuse. There is evidence to support this approach, which is in 2015, a study published in Journal of Child Abuse and Neglect found that teachers who had received professional development focus on identifying child abuse were significantly more likely to recognize abuse early and take timely action. With this kind of ongoing education, teachers will be equipped to identifying the physical, emotional, or behavior sign that often accompany abuse. Importantly, annual training will ensure that teachers continue to develop their skills and knowledge about abuse. As new research emerge or new forms of abuse come to light, training programs can be adjusted to reflect these changes, keeping educators ahead of the curve. This approach not only helps teachers spot signs of abuse, but also ensures they know how to act if they suspect a child is being harmed, whether it's reporting to the case, appropriate authorities, or providing initial support to their child. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Amjad, for that insightful solution on implement mandatory and annual training for teachers. It really does provide a practical approach to addressing these critical issues. So, when we ask what kind of environments allow child abuse to happen, we got one major social issue, which is dysfunctional family dynamic. And here, I would like to ask Ms. Haziatu, how can government agencies and social service help families to improve their relations and overcome dysfunction?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hanis, for the question. Okay, so dysfunctional family dynamics happen when the way family members interact and communicate creates an unhealthy or harmful environment. Instead of providing emotional support and stability, the family relationships are filled with conflict, neglect, or unhealthy behaviors that can negatively impact the mental and emotional well-being of its members. This toxic environment makes children more vulnerable to physical, emotional, and psychological harm. So, what exactly can government agencies and social services do to help tackling the issue of dysfunctional family dynamics? First thing first, we have to have a paradigm shift in family institutions and social setting dynamics. One important thing that needs to be highlighted here is the family relationships, or particularly we say the parents. Hence, the government agencies and non-government agencies should produce and provide more programs for promoting health family dynamics like family counseling and parenting workshop. For instance, in Malaysia, we have this one program called the Naungan Kasih Positive Parenting Program, or Protection Through Love. I believe some of us here already heard of this program before. So it is a group-based family strengthening program for families developed by Lembaga Penduduk dan Pembangunan Keluarga Negara, or National Population and Family Development Board, or we call LPPKN, in the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development. Its overall goal is to promote child well-being by helping parents develop the skills to establish positive relationships with their children while reducing the risk of violence against children at home and in their communities. So this program helped reduce the parents' tendency to use physical punishment, and they were less likely to scold or verbally abuse their children. So when we talk about child abuse and family relationships, the main contributors are the parents. And this kind of program will help parents improve their parenting style and avoid abusing their children in any ways. So this is one of the solution in social aspect. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Miss Haziatu. That's really an important perspective, and it really emphasizes the need for the collaborative effort in our communities. So we are moving to the third panelist. Many laws has been passed with the objective to protecting the welfare of the child. Yet the number of new child abuse cases reported has increased. So, Miss Patricia, what are the initiatives to prevent the crime from being committed? Is there any legal protection for children who are victim of abuse?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hanis, for the question. In Malaysia, many laws have been passed with the objective of protecting the welfare of the child. At the same time, the law is also tries to prevent the crime from being committed. Malaysia has a strong national child protection policy and a number of laws to protect children and address the issues of child abuse. Yet, significant limitation exists in laws and policy, especially regarding child abuse. Okay, main challenge in child protection in Malaysia is weak penalty for offenders. Some section of the Child Act 2001 are not clearly defined or has become outdated, making it difficult in law enforcement courts to apply them effectively in modern context, especially growing concern over child safety highlighted by recent cases that happened. Okay, first, it is important to recognize that solution to child protection need to be multifaceted. By strengthening laws, especially victims of abuse, they need to be heard and empowered. The second dimension is to acknowledge how serious the problem is. Malaysia has a number of laws to protect children and address the issue of child abuse. These include the Child Act of 2001. It is critical that all laws that affect children are in line with basic child rights, guideline, and proactive in supporting children. Okay, the Child Act of 2001 is a significant piece of legislation in Malaysia aimed for secure the protection and welfare of children. The Act covers various aspects related to child protection. According to the news report, found that the government is planning to impose harsh penalties and introduce more comprehensive provision under the Child Act 2001 to better safeguard minors against abuse and sexual crimes. So the government plan to improve enforcement of the Child Act 2001 to ensure the child abuse cases will not happen again. The government is prioritizing child safety by reforming existing laws to provide more protection and stricter penalties for offender, reflecting a commitment to address the critical issue surrounding child abuse in Malaysia. So I think that's all for my opinion.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for that thoughtful solution. It does really open a new avenue for the discussion and action regarding child protection. So, according to the 2023 article, the nexus between child abuse and economic condition, empirical evidence from Malaysia, uncertain economic condition can lead to more child abuse. And the article also suggests that children in poorer family are more likely to be neglected than those in the middle income families. From this statement, what we can actually do to address these issues, Dr. Imran?
Such a well-researched statement from our moderator, really impressive. Strengthening economic support is indeed vital in preventing child abuse. Financial stability is essential for families' well-being, and by improving economic supports, we help families meet their basic needs, reduce stress, and promote overall well-being. Financial assistance programs like the Child Tax Credit (CTC) and Earned Income Tax Credit (EITC) are associated with lower rate of child maltreatment reports. These credits provide families with additional incomes, reducing financial stress and enabling parents to better meet their children's needs by alleviating economic pressure. Child tax credit create a more stable and nurturing environment for children, reducing the risk of abuse and neglect. Government play a crucial role in providing and maintaining financial assistance programs such as the CTC and EITC. By passing legislation to create the expand this program, government ensure that all eligible family receive the support they need. According to a forum I participate in during 2022 in America about Prevent Child Abuse America, tax credit for families with children had low income families increase their income, encourage work and ease the cost of raising children. Improving a family's financial security can reduce child abuse and neglect by enhancing parents' ability to meet basic needs and reducing parental stress and depression. In conclusion, strengthening economic support can create a healthier environment for families and significantly reduce the risk of child abuse and neglect. It's a powerful tool in the fight against child abuse, especially for families living in poverty. That's all from me. Thank you for the first round.
All right, thank you, Dr. Imran. Your input on the provide more financial income is crucial. I think that it does really encourage us to think critically about how we can implement this idea effectively. So we are going to the round two. We are going back to the first panelist, Mr. Amjad. When we talk about education, the main character that played the most important role in that aspect is the teachers. So, Mr. Amjad, how can teachers be better trained to recognize the sign of child abuse and build trust with students to encourage them to seek help?
All right, thank you. Now let's turn into second critical challenge, which is the emotional environment in the classroom. Okay, so first of all, if children do not feel emotionally safe, they are far less likely to open up about abuse. Feeling heard, valued, and respected is essential for a child to feel comfortable disclosing sensitive information. Unfortunately, in many cases, children may feel that their teachers are too distant or unapproachable to share their struggles. Children who experience abuse often feel isolated, embarrassed, or guilty, and they may not recognize that teachers are there to help them. For children, especially those who have suffered emotional abuse or neglect, seeking help can be incredibly difficult. They might be afraid of not being believed, or they might worry that they will be blamed or punished for something that is not their fault. So, for that kind of problem, I would suggest my solution based on my experience as a counselor in the school, which is um, what can we do about this is one of the crucial solution is ensure that the classroom is safe, welcoming space where children feel emotionally supported. Children who feel supported by their teachers are far more likely to disclose abuse and a positive. Trusting relationship between a teacher and a student is key to fostering this openness. Um, in fact, a study published in Child Abuse and Neglect in 2019 found that children who had positive trusting relationships with their teachers were significantly more likely to disclose abuse. Teachers who take the time to build a rapport with their students, who listen to them, and who show genuine care about their well-being create an environment where children feel valued and safe. This trust, the foundation upon which children can confidently turn to their teachers when they need help. This means that teachers must go beyond simply delivering lesson. They need to be present, empathetic, and approachable. They should make it that their classroom is place where student emotionally needs are respected and addressed. Even small action such as regularly checking in with student, noticing when a child is withdrawn, or simply creating a culture of kindness and respect can help feel seen and heard. It is important to note that this emotional safety doesn't just make it easier for children to disclose abuse, but also make it more likely that children will thrive academically and socially. When students feel secure in their environment, they are more likely to engage in learning from positive peer relationships and develop a sense of self-worth. That's all from me for the second. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Amjad. I appreciate your suggestion on ensure classroom safe. It highlight the role of education in preventing child abuse, which is essential for long-time change. All right, we are moving to Ms. Haziatul. Right, studies show that a significant number of child abuse cases never reach the authorities. Why does this happen? And what steps can be taken to shift the societal mindset and create easier ways to people to report and to report suspected abuse toward children?
Thank you, Mr. Hanis, for such an interesting question. Okay, the issue that we address here is under-reporting of child abuse. I have a question. Do you think the issue of child abuse will come this far if everyone reported the case right away once they saw it? So you know the answer. This is the problem. The failure to take action to report abuse. Because why were we hesitating to report on some crucial and threatening life issue? So this is the problem in our society today. Okay, why does this happen? Okay, the decisions not to report is highly influenced by social pressure and motivation to comply with a society's expectation. Or in simple words, our society today are afraid to report and to take the consequences. So, the government of Malaysia worked in the effort to instill the culture of collective responsibility among society in regards to reporting suspected child abuse cases. The step to be taken is they need to establish key messages and campaign content about helplines to promote them as a tool for community members. So the example here, the government of Malaysia with the help of non-government organizations should play a role in disseminating information on how to identify abuse signs and symptoms and on how and where a person can file a report of suspected abuse. So with this, I believe the society will be more exposed to the ways of reporting and won't feel afraid to take action. We also have easier ways to report on child abuse cases using digital platforms like helplines applications. We have Talian Kasih, which is the main reporting line in Malaysia for a broad range of social welfare issues, including offences against children and adults. And Talian Kasih 15999 mobile application, it developed for the general public to make complaints, including anonymous complaint. And we also have toll-free line for whoever who might not get to install the application, so they can use a toll-free line, also the same number 15999, or they can WhatsApp or text a certain number. And also non-government organizations managing a hotline which is available 24 hours. It is called Be My Protector. So, reporting mechanisms are infrastructure or systems that support and enable the process of disclosing violence against children. It enables access to a wide range of support and may facilitate access to justice processes. So, that's one of the solutions. Thank you.
All right. Your input on Talian Kasih is crucial. I think that many people can report suspected abuse toward children with that online apps, Talian Kasih and the hotlink free lines. I think that we are moving forward to the third panelist for today. Therefore, Malaysia can be said that to have effective laws and policies to safeguard children. However, there are still challenges in ensuring that children right due to lack of coordination among some of the agencies. So, Ms. Batrisha, what are the potential solutions to improving child protection to restrict child abuse?
Okay, thank you, Hanis, for the question. For me, because of weak collaboration between legal authorities and child protection agencies, poor coordination between law enforcement courts to provide effective responses to abuse cases. Lack of collaboration leads to reduce the chance of comprehensive legal protection for children. According to the Child Abuse Review, found that the need well structured collaboration between different professions and institutions is acknowledged in many areas to increase effectiveness and achieve better outcomes. In juvenile proceeding, the protection of children depend on the collaboration between professionals in the child welfare and court system. Collaboration among child welfare and legal system helps the case management by securing that all parties are aligned in their action and that service are coordinated effectively. Okay, beyond laws, governance need to be improved, starting with those responsible for children's welfare. Norms need to change with an appreciation of the right of victim and a more open discussion of the issue. For example, enforcement need to the reach up to next level. A centralized unit in the police that focus only on child protection can ensure that delays in rescuing children will not happen again. For this, the police needs additional resource. This organization can help create safe space for children. My perspective of this aspect is aimed to see how such laws are effective in providing the protection to child abuse victims. Children are the future of society, and it is our responsibility to protect them and give them the best chance to grow up healthy and happy and safe. I think that's all for my sharing. Thank you.
That's a valuable contribution. It reminds us of the necessity for law to protect children effectively. So, Dr. Imran, from an academic perspective, we believe that the financial challenge faced by parents earning minimum wages can contribute to child abuse. Academic stressors, such as a low income and limited access to resource, might also influence a parent's ability to provide a safe and nurturing environment for their children. Considering this factor, what are the comprehensive measures can be implemented to make the economic burdens on minimum wages earning parents?
Great question. Thank you to our moderator for bringing that up. Income support is important to preventing child abuse because it helps families with their financial stress. When families receive financial assistance, they can better provide a stable and nurturing environment for their children. This support significantly reduces the risk of child abuse by lowering the pressure on parents and allowing them to meet their family's basic needs. The government can help solve minimum wage issue to prevent child abuse. They can make law to increase the minimum wage to level where worker can afford basic needs. By adjusting the minimum wage regularly according to inflation, the wage will keep up with the cost of living. These regular changes are important to ensure workers and their families stay financially stable. In discussing ways to prevent child abuse, it is important to consider the financial pressure that many families face. I would like to mention the policy toolkit, economic support for families as a prevention from the same forum, which suggests that raising the minimum wage can help reduce child abuse and neglect. One study mentioned in the toolkit found that for every $1 increase in hourly wage above $7, there was a 9.6% decrease in report of child neglect. This means paying worker more money can help protect child from being neglected. Higher wages also mean parents can spend more time with their kids instead of working extra job to make up for low pay. This helps strengthen family bond and support families' emotional growth. Financial stability also lowers stress and anxiety, which can sometimes lead to harmful behavior like child abuse. By raising salaries, we help parents focus on their kids and create a healthier and safer environment for families. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Imran. Your experience in this area is invaluable and it certainly enriched our discussion today. So, as we come to an end of our forum today, I would like to sincerely thank you for thanks our esteemed panelists for their insightful contributions and for our audience too. So that will be all from our panel, our forum discussion today. Good night and Assalamualaikum.